Welcome to this episode. This is the Luxamed podcast. This is our first episode in English, but because of the many listeners from US and other foreign countries out of Germany, it was my idea to make one podcast, maybe other few podcasts in English too. My name is Patrick Walicek and I'm the CEO of Luxamed. And we are a microcurrent developer and microcurrent producers, ISO 13485 certified producer for especially frequency-specific microcurrent devices. So, in this episode, I want to speak about a little introduction. What's up with microcurrent, especially in Europe and Germany, and where we are come from, and why we are doing this. So let's start at the beginning. The beginning, especially for us in Germany, was in the year 2000, where we started to develop the first microcurrent device. This was a very artificial device, let's say, where you have to put in your frequencies manually. There was no space for any storage of programs. You have to give the wave slop, the power of the current, the polarity, and all that stuff as for each patient you get. And so it was quite complicated. This was starting in year 2. The first successes comes very quick when we are able to take the first devices to the Olympic Games in Sydney in this time. And we saw that especially in sports, in traumatology, and in pain management, we are very successful. So, and then in the year 2004, there comes a new device, a new development of the previous device called Clinic Master Professional especially. And with it comes, let's say, the little brother. This was a Vital Master. This was a two-channel microcurrent device. And there we got the innovation of that you can store programs in the device. Or let's say there are pre-stored programs in the device, which was about 60 programs from pain management to regeneration to neurologic problems, psychologic problems, and let's say any kind of issues in the field of what you can treat with microcurrent. And it was a really success story of microcurrent in that period, because the sales started in year 2003, in the end of 2003, beginning of 2004, and it goes on until 2011. So we did also randomized double-blind clinical studies with the device in Germany. And one study was by patients after knee replacement. I did personally, together with some laboratory people, and study how we can compare microcurrent with an LED light therapy. This was quite interesting to see if there is an effect. So, and we saw massive effects. That's why we took some innovations on that stuff, that we can combine microcurrent with LED light therapy. In 2011, we founded a new company because we want to, how we can say it, we want to, let's say, re-engineer the philosophy and restart with a totally new approach of microcurrent. A totally new approach based on the informations, on the learnings we took over the years before. So this was the start of Luxamed company, and we were able to develop an, let's say, cybernetic system of microcurrent combined with LED light therapy. All the devices, by the way, are medical approved devices for CE marking process. So they are medical devices for all over Europe at this time. And so what we saw that is that there is an automatic, and let's say an automatic engagement with the patient's tissue in the combination of frequency-specific microcurrent frequencies. So that is what we developed out, that we can see we have a measurement, artificial measurement of the tissue, and then we have to give in special frequencies in the tissue, frequencies out from the FSM, from the known from the US, the frequency-specific microcurrent. And there we saw massive effects in the therapy of damaged tissue, of painful tissue, of chronic problems of patients. This leads me to give a very great shout out to Dr. Carol McMakin, who is the inventor of the frequency-specific microcurrent. She did so much great work and in scientific approaches to microcurrent. She printed out many papers. She wrote very interesting books, which is one of them is the Resonance Effect, which is a great book. And she also inspired me to give more engagement in the theme of microcurrent. I met her 3 times. One time was in a 4-day seminar in Germany. The other time was then after in an office in Germany, and we had a private chat together. And then the next time was in London, where we go out for dinner to discuss some things about microcurrent technologies and devices. And I could say that she is a very lovely person, and she is one of the professionals, the person I ever met in the field of microcurrent. She is the pioneer of microcurrent. Without her, there won't be such many effects and such many approaches in a microcurrent. So it is great, very great to know her personally, and so I have to give a very great shout out for her. I listened just today a podcast from her. It is not from her directly. It is coming out from the Q Coach. I will announce the podcast in the show notes in my episode here, because it's so great to hear what she have to say. And also I have to recommend her books, the Resonance Effect and other books. I will also put in the show notes down here. So, but let's go back to my personal approach, to my personal engagement to the microcurrent. And I would say this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of my first English episode of podcast. Hopefully you will my English will not so bad that the English native speakers are say that's horrible to hear. Maybe I will make some other podcast episodes in English too. Of course, we will keep going on to the episodes, his weekly episodes of the Luxamed frequency-specific microcurrent podcasts. And it's interesting. I love that. I love my work there, and I love the field of microcurrent technology. We are actually, I told before, in a very interesting development also for a new software, which is an app for a microcurrent, frequency-specific microcurrent. So it will be great to keep with you in touch. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. This is just a small episode to give a little introduction in the German view of microcurrent therapy, of frequency-specific microcurrent therapy. And yes, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like my podcast, just give me a 5-star on iTunes or Apple Podcast or wherever you listen this episode. It will be great. If you have some ideas, if you have some, let's say you say that it's not so good, and so please just look at the show notes. You will find the contact data, and then you can write me an email, or we can speak together what maybe we can make better in the future. But hopefully you enjoyed it. This is as I said before, a little approach for you to see that not only in the US, also in Germany, in Europe, there is microcurrent technology in the market, not since yesterday, it's since 20 years, and we have a lot of experience. And so, yes, I would say thank you for listening to this episode, and hopefully hear you next episode.